Hey, party people, it is Thursday, and you know what that means. One more day to the weekend. And depending on where you are in the country or even in the world, the weekend may not mean very much. Your state may still be under stay at home orders, or you may be deciding, regardless of what your governor has decided, you and your family are staying put and staying at home. But either way, we are one more day to the weekend. It's a throwback Thursday. I don't know who came up with that. So many people talk about throwback Thursdays on social media. But we're going to go ahead and get started and kick it off with our Ray of Motivation moment. And so, for our Ray of Motivation moment tonight, I just want to ask you the question: what did you eat today? Yeah. What did you eat today? So, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about me this morning. I started off kind of light. I had a granola bar because I was doing some essential business outside. I ran to the grocery store. When I got back in, I had a very late lunch, 2 slices of avocado toast. I was eating light, somewhat light on purpose because I knew I wanted to splurge for dinner. And for dinner, I had fish, I had cornbread, and I had coleslaw, all homemade, and it was good. But that's not all I ate today. That was just the food. But this morning, I spent time eating and feeding my mental spirit. I did my affirmations. I took time to journal. I even read my Bible. So I started with one type of food, feeding my spirit, feeding my mind. And throughout the day, I fed my physical body. So my question to you today is, what did you eat today? Did you only feed your physical body, or did you feed your mind and your spirit, but you only fed it things that were kind of came about as an afterthought? Maybe just some jokes on social media? Or were you intentional? Did you feed your mind by reading a book? Maybe you attended a webinar or a great Zoom session, just something to keep you grounded. I want to challenge you to be very conscious and intentional about how you feed yourself every single day. And that is our Ray of Motivation moment. So I'm really excited about tonight's guest. She got her start. We first saw her on the national scene in The Walking Dead. And since that time, she has been lighting up both the big and the small screen with recurring roles on shows like Survivor's Remorse, BET Plus Bigger, and of course, we can't forget Lulene on Ambitions. And that show was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. So please help me welcome Miss Sherry Richards. Sherry, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody. How you doing out there?
So Sherry, you got your start acting by, kind of, I guess you would say maybe stumbling on someone making a movie. Is that correct?
I did. Wow. Thank you for remembering that. Absolutely. Yes, that was some years ago, probably the late 90s. And
Mm-hmm.
I happened to, I was living in Utah at the time, and I was working for the government and happened to go outside for lunch, and I saw this movie set. I didn't know at the time that's what was happening. I just saw people kind of moving back and forth. I was interested in that. I went up there and said, "Hey, what's going on?" They told me they were making a movie. I said, "Oh wow, can I get with you guys?" And they said, "Well, go talk to this person over there." And that's pretty much how I got started. I realized at that time, okay, that interests me. So what I'm going to do is take some classes and kind of, get myself going in that direction. So yeah, that's how I got started.
So
But
now, were you able to be an extra in that film?
no, not that
Okay.
particular film.
Okay.
What happened? I was that just kind of spurred things for me. So I began taking classes from that point on, to get into the movies, to get on TV sets, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it wasn't until maybe about a year later I actually was able to get onto some sets as a actress. Back then they said extras, but we called
Uh-huh.
them background actors, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I remember Della Reese once said I was touched by an angel, and
Oh.
yeah, Yes. And she said, they are our atmosphere. And I love that.
Mm,
Gave dignity to
yeah.
background actors. But that's how I got started. Yes. Did a little bit of commercials. I did some theater work. And then I moved to Utah excuse me, Atlanta in 2000.
Okay.
Still didn't do a whole lot because now I'm trying to acclimate to a new area, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't have an agent or anything like that. And I'm still working because I was able to, get to Atlanta because of my job, working for the government. So I had to, get myself acclimated first. And after that, then I began looking for an agent, that sort of thing. And things didn't really, it took about 10 years, really, to see. 10 years? Yeah, because I moved here in 2000, and it wasn't until 2013 that I got onto Walking Dead.
Wow. So
Yeah.
for those people who, they may have seen you on Ambitions, like, oh, that's the same lady that I saw on Survivor's Remorse. Where did she come from? She was just an overnight success, but that's not so. It wasn't an overnight success. You really were putting in some time and some diligence.
Absolutely. Yes. Taking classes,
Mm-hmm.
and also researching agents to see which agency I can connect with. That took a little bit of time. So yeah, it's a lot of work that's involved. It's not an easy thing. It's not a cakewalk. You do have to put some time in there. You have to study, and you have to connect with people and connect with them in a genuine way to build relationships, not to see, oh, how can I get over here or get over there, but connect with people because you really want to, connect, build a relationship, and get to know more about the industry. And from there, then I was able to make the right connections and get on to the sets I need to get on to, get with a really good agent, which is my agency is Atlanta Models and Talent, and I love them. Thank you, AMT. Yes, and I've been with them since 2008.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Yes.
So what a way to make a splash, though. It took a while, but to make a splash on one of the most popular shows, The Walking Dead, what was it like working on that set?
Oh my gosh. That was an amazing set. I wasn't quite sure what it would be like because I'm thinking, okay, they're all, looking like zombies, and am I going to be scared or what?
Mm-hmm.
But that was the most amazing set ever. Everyone was kind. The collaboration was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness, everyone from cast and crew, just an amazing set to work on. I can't talk enough about them. Truly amazing. I was on for a few episodes. I think maybe 4 or 5 episodes I was on. And yeah, great set. Great set. Yeah.
Well, what a way to make a splash onto the national scene in a
Yeah.
show like that. But you've been steadily busy. You've been doing commercials, you've been doing short films, you've been doing feature films, and I've seen. I didn't even realize it was you. Like I had already seen you on Survivor's Remorse and
Uh-huh.
hadn't even realized it was you until maybe I saw it on your reel. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize. Not that you didn't look the same. I just had not put the two and two together. And that,
Right.
when it happens like that sometimes. But what, I don't know if you want to reveal this or not, but what so far has been your favorite role?
Oh my goodness. I've had quite a few, but I have to say, oh my gosh, listen, they're all really good. But what
Hmm.
almost Survivor's Remorse, because that particular episode, I was able to seduce the future son-in-law, and it was
Right.
it's a comedy drama sort of,
Hmm.
and I'm finding that I do really well with comedy, and I didn't think I was a comedic actress. I always felt that I'm more dramatic, but I guess I can be both, right? We can be
Right.
fun of me. So that I really loved Survivor's Remorse, that particular role, um,
Hmm.
and then of course Bigger, you know, I was just on a bigger that they've already completed season 1 and they have been given season 2. So that's amazing.
Oh, awesome.
On bigger, yes, I played again the mom. I'm always the mom. Hey, look at this, right?
Right.
For real, you know. But yes, I play a mom, Lane, Tanisha Long, who's the lead actress. Her character is Lane. She and her friends, 30 something, is trying to find something bigger and better, you know. And her love interest, Warren Burke, I play his mom, along with J. Oscar Simmons, who plays the father, and we're just this quirky family. If I can do quirky, right? So that's one of my favorite roles or show to be on. Let's see, what else have I done? I've done some things like I'm trying to remember all of them.
Now you also did The Banker, the film The Banker.
Banker. I did a Banker, and that's an amazing show too because it's historical. It's about it's a true story basically. So that was really nice. I worked alongside Anthony Mackie, which is amazing. Oh my gosh, he is such a wonderful actor. He's very intense, and I would love to work with him again. Okay. But my scene you see is at the top of the scene when they're at the dinner table. So, you know, a lot of my dialogue was cut, and that's okay. I get it because it's not about me, honey. It is not about me. It's all about the story. And right. I'm just part of the making of the story. So it was wonderful to work on that set. Ambitions. Oh, whew, that was
crazy. Man, listen. That's with you and the Colonel, that's all I'm gonna say, just in case people want to go back and watch it. You know, even though as of now they're saying it's not coming back, you never know, another network could pick it up. But so I won't ruin it for people who have not seen it. And I'm calling him the Colonel. That was not even his name on the show, but you know who I'm talking about. I was like, yes, Eric and the Colonel. Ooh.
Yes, and he's an amazing actor. You know, I am so privileged and so grateful to have worked alongside so many amazing actors, actresses, however we want to call them, but we're all, you know, it's just been wonderful. And I learned so much from them. I learned that, hey, if I want to get to that next level, watch what they're doing and you'll get there. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey for me, and the journey hasn't ended. There's more on the horizon, and I'm ready.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As soon as the Rona decided want to go ahead on. One of our very regulars here on the Angela Ray Show, Edwin, has a question for you. Do you see it on the screen, Sherry?
Oh, let's see. Okay, listen. I have to put on my glasses, okay? Let's see what we're seeing here. I read you. Oh, yes. I read you play Calpurnia from the classic book, To Kill a Mockingbird. What was that experience like? You know, that was a really wonderful experience, too, because it was theater here in Atlanta at the Georgia Ensemble Theater. And I had a wonderful time with that. But I tell you what, let's be honest, okay? Because I'm just going to be honest. I've always had playing maids. You know, and I don't like playing the maid, but I've come to learn there's a lot to be learned by playing a maid. You know, there's a story there as well. So I had to get over that a little bit, but I was grateful to have that opportunity to, you know, play Calpurnia. Yes, yes.
Have you had an opportunity to do much theater, other theater lately? Because I know, you know, and when you're pursuing film and television, it's oftentimes hard to do theater, especially if you're doing it with a theater company that doesn't have understudies. And I know most of the theater companies in the Southeast do not have understudies. So it's pretty much like if you do a play, you need to kind of take the time off and know that you're not going to be doing any film and television for a while.
Exactly. Right now, yes. Television and film is what I'm doing. I love theater because I really got my start in theater. And there's nothing better than that live audience because they really feed you. And not only that, you learn your craft so much better when you're doing theater. what I would love to do is do theater at least once a year. That's what I would like to do. But we'll see how that pans out. In the meantime, I'm doing the television and film because I love it. I said, if you go to my website, you may see it there. But I said that I always said I'm having a love affair with television.
Oh, okay then.
Okay? Yes, because it is my truly, truly first love. But I'm having an affair with television and film right now.
You cheating on your first love.
Oh, honey, I'm cheating.
I totally understand it though. I was fortunate to do 2 plays last year towards the end of the year, and I don't even know how I did it. Like in terms of being able to keep up with film and television and juggling. I was in rehearsals for both shows at the same time. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's good. It's great training. It takes you back to your roots, but it's definitely a lot. Definitely a lot.
It certainly is. So you have to really have the time to devote to that. You know, as you mentioned, having understudies, a lot of the theaters, they don't have that, but they're trying. They're trying to get there because they know a lot of their theater actors are moving over into television and film, and then they're coming back to theater. You know, this back and forth, and they want to keep those really great actors. So in order to keep them performing on their stages, then they have to consider understudies.
Yeah.
But
so now, doing Ambitions, was that your first time on the Oprah Winfrey Network, or had you been on another show? Okay.
No, let's see. Let me think. On the Oprah Winfrey Network. Look, you're going to get me telling all kinds of stuff now. Okay. Doing a television show, let me see. How do I say that? As an actress, yes.
Okay.
That's my time. Yes.
All right. So you had done some other work on the OWN network. We'll leave that alone if you can't talk about it.
Because I don't want to.
Okay, we're gonna leave that alone because I was like, she's dancing around this one a little bit. So,
and I'm doing a whole lot of dancing around without. But no, yes, that it was my first time actually as an actress on the Oprah Winfrey. And I tell you what, that's a dream of mine as well. I am really living a lot of wonderful, amazing moments. I would have never thought, even when we spoke about The Banker, working on The Banker, working alongside Nia Long. Listen, I remember watching her in so many shows and loving her. Right. I would never thought that I would have an opportunity to actually work alongside that beautiful, talented woman. You know, it's just an experience. And when we talk about ambition, oh gosh, I just had a brain freeze. But you know who I want to say on ambition?
Which one? Actress or actor?
The actress. And forgive me, Robin Givens. Yes, her, right. Robin Givens. Yes, she's oh my goodness. To work alongside her as well. I'm living. I'm living. I am really living because of that. All the different actors I've had an opportunity to work alongside. Yes.
Well, yeah, that show was really stacked with great talent.
Yes. Yes. And Breely Evans. Oh my goodness. Wow. So many great actors, actresses. Yes.
You have another question, Sherry?
What against type would you like to portray if offered? Oh my goodness. Against type. So, I don't know. I have to give that. I have to give that some thought. I don't know. I think right now I'm just in this moment of whatever's being offered to me, and if it looks good, feels good, I'm there for it. So I know right now I'm playing the mom. I play the sweet mom. I play the quirky mom, that kind of thing. I think we all would love to be in a role where you're crazy, whatever,
deranged.
Yeah, I think I think that's the easiest thing to play, in my opinion. But yeah. Oh yeah. To answer your question, maybe something like that. Okay, opposite of who I am now, someone who's just like, you know, you know, menace, you know.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
You got another question?
Okay, since you are part of a huge show, Walking Dead, are you able to keep some privacy? I try to, very much so, yes. Listen, I have a stack of mail I still receive from The Walking Dead, and
Oh, wow.
my address is my agent's address, their office address. So I maintain my privacy that way. I don't give my address out to everyone, the general public, no. So I try to maintain my privacy as much as possible when it comes to that.
I hadn't really thought about that too much. I did have one request for a picture from someone from my agent, and my agent sent it to me, and she was like, "What, I'll let you handle this however you want to handle it." And I was like, I'll mail it and I'll put your return address. We'll keep it like that. It was I don't even know how the person found me. I was like, okay.
Sure. But did it
So
go to your agent's address, or it went to
it
your agent?
did. I think
Okay.
the person found me through my agent's website. That's how they were able to contact me, even
Okay.
though,
Yes.
between and you know what? Social media was definitely out then, because
Mhm.
this was with one of my Atlanta agents. But because I feel like I'm just so easy to find on social media, between trying to message or a DM. But
Mhm.
this person didn't take that route. They contacted my
Well,
agent, so I was
at
like,
least
oh,
they contacted your agent. So that's
yes.
a good thing. It didn't come direct to your address. And on my website, I always have everything. If you need to contact me, go through my
Mm-hmm.
agent. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I try to maintain it that way. Yes, I've never had anything come to my personal address. No, no. If it did, I'd be, uh-oh, something's wrong here. you know,
Yeah.
yeah. And I do
And what?
sign some of they'll mail me headshots that, or
Mm-hmm.
other photos that they pulled offline, and I
Mm-hmm.
need to sign it. And um, I'm very particular about how I sign as well, because I
Okay.
understand some of the things can happen with that, with your signature. So, I
Oh
have a
yeah.
signature. Yes.
Hadn't thought about that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hadn't thought about that. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
have you have the pharmacist signature for your autograph.
there you go, But I appreciate all that, the interest. I appreciate my fans out there. I love them. I really do, because if they're supporting me, they're supporting the show, they're supporting the network, everyone that's involved. So I really appreciate that. And I appreciate some of the letters all the letters I receive, I appreciate them. And I read every single one. And I can tell which ones are, okay, they're just wanting something, and then they're the ones who are truly sincere, because they will tell me every detail about
Wow.
the show, and what they saw and how they felt. And I said, wow, that's a genuine one. That's a genuine person there.
Mm-hmm.
And I give a little more because of that. Give them a
Okay.
little. Mm-hmm.
So have you been using this what we might call downtime in our industry? Because I know back in the I want to say maybe mid to late 90s, when there was a
Mm-hmm.
writer's strike, that definitely impacted. I mean, we weren't completely shut down. I know that SAG definitely supported that. So I don't know that we were completely shut down, but that's what
Mm-hmm.
gave rise to reality TV in such a way that it will never go away because of that strike. So,
Right.
how have you been spending this downtime?
Oh man! First of all, I've been reading. Catching up on some books, catching up on some shows on Netflix that I haven't had an opportunity to watch. Exercising, trying to maintain my exercise, because I want to be ready when everything is
Right.
up and running again. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, I've actually been enjoying this. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to get sick, because
Right.
I don't want there not be an opportunity for me to work when that time
Right.
comes. So I've been really paying attention to this, stay at home and stay safe and well, that sort of thing. But I tell you what, last week I got a little itchy, and I said, okay, wait a minute now. I'm starting to feel something. I've been doing really good, but now I'm starting to feel like, I need to get back to work. I need to do something. You know, all of us as creatives, we need
Mm-hmm.
downtime because we have to rejuvenate, right?
Yeah.
Then
Right.
we have to get back up and get going again because it's just who we are.
Right.
So something I did last week, my mom passed away about 16 years ago. And I decided, you know what? She April was her 16th anniversary being, you know, having passed away. And then we have Mother's Day. And then now come June is going to be my mom's birthday. She'll be 85, I believe she would have been. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to create a video. I decided to write it, direct it, edit it,
Oh.
you know, right? And I grabbed my grandkids and say, okay, now, when I tell you to hit that button, don't be just 1, 2, 3, because I'm
Right.
all in the moment, okay? And you just go ahead and hit that button, and then give me a moment, a long moment before you stop that button. So they did a camera for me. You know, one did it on Thursday and the other on a Friday because I shot my mom's scene first, and then I shot
Mm-hmm.
my scenes, and then the following day I did all the editing and put it together. And I tell you what, I felt
Okay.
wonderful, amazing, because it gave me a creative outlet. I was able to use my creativity, and yeah, that's been amazing. I also do these little inspirational. Um, well, what do I call them? Morning tea inspiration with Sherry Lee, and I do that like every
Okay.
Tuesday to help
Okay.
me that way to still use my creativity. So different things like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's been your go-to quarantine food? Have you had one?
my go. Well, I love. I bake granola.
Okay.
Granola is made with coconut and nuts and
Mm-hmm.
raisins. So I'm still trying to eat healthy. So that's my go-to is granola.
Well, you're doing
Uh,
so well. I know you heard me talking about what I ate today, so
I was like, wow, that sounds good. And then you threw in the cornbread.
you know me,
I
cornbread.
don't like carbs. But listen, let me tell you
Cornbread.
something. Look, although mosquito bit me, although that, I'm trying to eat very healthy, I
Mhm.
still have challenges too. I said to my husband, oh my goodness, I'm putting on weight. And probably what it is, although I'm eating healthy and I'm trying to exercise, I'm not doing as much as I used to prior to
Okay.
the pandemic. So
Mhm.
that's causing me to put on a little bit here and there. Um, yeah, I just need to be able to because the exercise in my living room is not enough sometimes. I'm worried about the rug. I'm worried about listen, that rug, I don't want that rug getting all marked up, with
Right.
that roller. So I need somewhere where I can be out, and get as much exercise. I jump rope
Mhm.
and I do my jumping jacks, different things like that. So yeah. If I'm running on too much, just stop me. I know I can
No,
put a mic in front of me, girl. I'm gonna go, ah!
that's what we do. That's what we do. We are ready to be on. So what's next for you? Obviously we are all waiting for when production will come back. And I don't know if you've read, but I do believe that Atlanta is going to be where it all starts. Looks like it's going to get started in Atlanta in July. So I don't know about other productions, New York or LA and even, Canada and Florida. What's next for you that you can share? Because I recognize that there's some things that you can't share oftentimes. But what's next for you? Whether that's film or television, or whether that's another creative endeavor, are you going to direct another film with your grandkids?
I don't know. Who knows? Probably yes. Yes, I will do that. Yes,
Hmm.
create something and put it out there. See where it goes. Um, I'm hoping to right before the pandemic happened. I had possibility. We call that avail, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I
Yes.
do.
And I had about three of them, and so
Ooh.
I don't know which one will pan out. But
Hmm.
give me at least one, please,
I know, right?
because I'm ready to get back to work.
Yeah.
And Yeah, that's my passion. I want to work, and I have some other things that I'm doing. I make a design jewelry, gratitude jewelry, so I need to get that back up on my Etsy shop. Um,
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
yes, yes, I do that, and I've been using this time to kind of think where I really want to be and how I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had it up there, I've taken it down because I'm thinking, oh gosh, maybe I need to do a little better this way, a little better that way. But this is a quiet time to
Right.
give you room to figure it out, to do it better. And that's what I'm really saying to everyone out there. This is a time to get quiet,
Oh yeah.
get still, so that you can figure out your journey and how you're going to, which pathway you're going to take.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this time is for. And you give wonderful inspiration. I listened to you before I came on. I thought, oh, yes. Be intentional, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
feed your mind, your spirit, besides your physical body. So this
Yes.
is time for everyone to really consider that and get still. And then when this thing is over, then you're ready for whatever that next is. So my next is going to, listen, honey, it's going to be television and film still, but
Right.
I'm hoping to get to that next level. I
Mm-hmm.
will be at that next level, and then do something with Sherry Lee Creations.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, you have to I think there's so many opportunities to have your creations on film and television sets. I mean, you and I both know a lot of directors. They're in our cell phones. I am sure they would be honored to have your creations on some of the actors and actresses that are in those projects. So maybe that is something that we can see for your Etsy shop in the near future. If anyone
yeah,
have any other questions for Sherry, go ahead and put those in the chat if you have any more questions. But yeah, that's my mind. I'm always thinking about cross promotions and how we can help each other. So for an actor who's doing a short film, the pay is not always the exact same as what a full budget project would be. So one of those kind of like cross benefits might be some arm candy, and at the same time having your credit at the end of the film, special thanks to you, and
oh,
in your jewelry line, like all of that to me just works really well
yes.
together when it's a give and take for small business owners, and even small business owners, but also the filmmakers, because oftentimes
Mhm.
when we have I mean, you and I've worked on independent film projects. We know it's people aren't
Okay.
getting rich at our expense.
Mhm.
Oftentimes they are giving us what they can give us, and running a professional set, regardless of the fact that it may not be full budget. But yeah, I just feel like there's so many opportunities for collaborations. I'm a big
Absolutely.
proponent of collaborations. I am just
Absolutely.
That is my thing. I am really big on collaboration,
I agree.
because oftentimes people look at things as competitions, but yeah, I'm really
Mhm.
big on collaborations, and when it can be a win-win
Mhm.
opportunity for all parties involved. And I think that particularly film
Mhm.
projects, that's a great, especially indie films, it's a great
Mhm.
way to make that happen. It really is.
Well, we're all in this together, you know,
Absolutely.
in this together. And speaking of short film, well, you and I worked on a short film,
Yes,
right?
we did. And you got to be my mom too.
Honey, I'm always the mom, right? But there's all kinds of moms, right? Different types.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of that, being on that short film, what I appreciate too, because I'm a SAG actor, that Bridget was Bridget Lab Productions. Bridget,
Yes.
it was her
Hmm.
film, and Chuck Brown directed that film. But I appreciate Bridget making it a SAG project, because when
Right.
she came to me about it, I said, well, because I'm a SAG actor, it has to be a SAG project. And she was more than willing to go ahead and get that paperwork done and make it that type of project, because it
Yeah.
also it helps, it helps her project, it helps us, um,
Hmm.
to be part of the union, to receive that credit. I mean, there's a lot to be said about
Yeah.
being a SAG actor, you're taken more seriously, and your project is taken more seriously. So, kudos for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and you are amazing. You are just
Oh,
amazing. Yes. So
well,
I was
thank you.
your mom. Mhm.
Well, you are amazing to work with as well. That's why I had to shout you out when I found out that Ambitions wasn't coming back. I was like, let me post me and my mama scene real quick up here on the Instagram.
Mhm.
That was just like, what? It's not coming back, but who knows?
You
And
never know.
you never know. And I often think about like the show. I have two examples. Sister, Sister. I believe it was on ABC first, and then it ended up, I believe, on the WB or CW or one of the other networks. But then the
Right.
game was originally on the CW, and then it ended up on BET, and it was on BET for almost as long, if not longer, as it was on the original network. So
Mhm.
definitely, there are other possibilities for shows. Definitely.
Right. Absolutely. So let's hope it gets picked up. We don't know.
Yeah.
Not TV One was going to do something. I don't know.
Oh.
I just know they were kind of promoting the show,
Mm-hmm.
asking questions. How did of the audience? How do they feel about the show and that sort of thing? So I thought they were going to pick it up, but who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows? There's
You got
room.
you have one final question, Sherry. Edwin,
Okay.
thank you for being on.
Hi, Edwin. Okay. You mentioned you worked for the federal government. Was it difficult to adjust to the career of being an actor? Not at all, because I was ready to be done with the
That's
listen.
funny.
A lot of I had a lot of years put in,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of years, and by then, when I got started in acting, my supervisor, she was more than willing to give me the time that I needed. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
for plays and that sort of thing because they were used to seeing me one way and then to see that I want to venture out this go in this other direction. She was more than willing to make room. And once I moved to Atlanta, of course, I decided to go ahead and resign so I can do this full time. So the transition, it was wonderful. I'm at work now. Federal government worker. Okay, listen, but let me tell you, those benefits are great, aren't they? you know, those government benefits now. Listen, all right, that thrift saving plan. Okay, it goes a long way. Okay, you're gonna get your retirement or Social Security when you're ready to retire. Hey, you got your thrift saving plan too.
Right. Yeah. And it's, it's really good that you had someone who was understanding, because I know I won't shout them out, one
Mhm,
day, if I want to do a tell all I may, but I won't even give them the benefit of the doubt of saying the company's name. But my last quote unquote corporate job,
mhm.
um, I had I was an editor, and there was a typo that I didn't catch.
Ooh.
And but now here's the thing. Let me set this up for you. That morning, I had, you can tell like when you're in a position when people are supervisors or they're starting to mess with you. They had
Mhm,
already started to mess with me. They had moved me from a standard cubicle. I was really at a table. And so, a table is not ergonomically designed for you to sit at for 8 hours to edit
mhm,
reports. And so, um, after about 2 or 3 weeks, my back started to bother me, and I didn't want to say anything because I think I knew in my spirit if I complained, something was going to happen. And so that morning, I went to my supervisor. I should have gone to HR. That was where I made the mistake. But I went to my
mhm,
supervisor and said, "Hey, my back is starting to bother me because I'm at the table and I can't turn like I want to turn." And
mhm.
I started packing up my desk that day. And
Oh,
about 4:45, I got called into HR. They found a typo that I did not catch, and they fired me for a typo. Yeah.
wow.
And the person in HR knew that it was just ridiculous. And literally, she is sitting there looking like this. Like she don't even want to be there because she knows that this is ridiculous. This is a
Mhm,
ridiculous reason to let me go. And so much so, I still can't believe this. HR didn't even walk me to my desk. And that's HR getting fired 101, because you don't know what someone is going to do when they get fired. My supervisor didn't walk me to my desk, nor did HR. And so I remember my supervisor saying, "Oh yeah, and by the way," and then you have your acting anyway.
Oh,
I
and
was
we
like,
know that it's not. Come on.
that came up in my firing.
Wow.
hmm So I
Wow.
was like, "Oh, so that's what this is about. I have a passion and you don't.
And
Okay."
you okay.
Um, and
Yeah.
just very grateful that I hadn't looked back. Definitely, I had a sense of peace that
Mhm.
particular day. I remember going back to my desk, because I'd already started packing. Something just in my spirit, I knew. So I had a few things to gather, and I remember one of my coworkers was like, "See you tomorrow." I was like, "Oh no, you won't. I just got fired." She's like, What do you mean you just got fired?" And she's looking around to see HR, anybody, and I was like, "I just got fired."
Mm, mm,
And she's
mm,
still looking at me. I was like, "Girl, I'm ready to go clock out. Great
mm.
working with you." And I
Okay.
left.
Well,
So,
you
go ahead.
one door closes, the other opens, right? And so,
Absolutely. And
mm,
that was 2 weeks before 9/11. Because when yeah, that was Labor Day weekend. And so when 9/11 happened, I remember I was in the bed, like, because I'm like, Friday, you ain't got no job. So I was in the bed and sleep when it happened. And I had someone called and woke me up and was like, "Are you watching the news?" And I was like, "No, I'm asleep. What's going on?" But yeah, so soon after that, I got a contract position that was very flexible, allowed me
mm,
to go around and do some presentations. But yeah, which was
okay.
perfect for, balancing the acting, because at that time I wasn't, it wasn't steady. It was particularly in the Southeast, we didn't have nearly the project shooting in the Southeast that we have now, like not
Right.
nearly. So, film and television auditions, sometimes I could go 3, 4, 5, 6 months
Mhm.
without getting another one. And of course, now it's
Yeah.
outside of the pandemic. If I go more than 6 days without an audition, I'm looking at my email like, Is it in spam? Where is the access email?" You know,
Exactly.
the
Well,
times have definitely changed.
when it comes back, when we all come back, are you
Yeah,
okay? Because it's gonna be fast. It's
it
gonna
is
be
going to be fast.
moving
Yes.
projects, so we have to be ready. So I'm excited about that. So, you and I, we won't have to have those moments where we look and say, "Oh man, where's that audition?"
Right.
No,
It's
they're
gonna
gonna
be fast.
just like
They're gonna
that.
be ready because they've been on hold for a long time,
That
definitely.
To
Well,
piggyback on what Edwin, when he asked me the question about the government worker,
mhm.
something that you and I both know, all the jobs that we have had, or whatever life story we have, however way we've lived our lives, right?
Mhm.
All of that informs our acting, doesn't it?
Oh my
It
gosh.
right? It
Oh
gives us
yeah. Mhm.
something to strive for. If I was a government worker over here and I did this and that, A, B, and C, then the next role that comes up for me to audition, hey, I already know about that because
Right.
I've worked in that type of office, or I've been that type of person, or I've seen that type of person.
Mhm.
So yeah, all those jobs, the one that you had, that the experience you had with the HR, and getting fired, you already know what that feels like, what that looks like. All you're doing,
Oh
you're
my
gonna
goodness.
and give it to this character, right? You're gonna be
Yeah.
you, and to bring that character alive, right?
Absolutely.
But you
Yeah.
experienced,
And
yeah.
it's crazy because and it's because I have not had a corporate job. I've, had a lot of different types of side hustles. And boy, that
Ooh.
definitely informs my creativity when I'm acting. Cause woo,
Woo.
met some characters over the years.
Okay, absolutely, absolutely,
Definitely.
yes.
Well, everyone, you can follow Sherry at Book Sherry Roberts. Sherry Richards. I don't know. You know what? Sherry Roberts went to high school with me. Book Sherry Richards on Instagram. Her website is also scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Sherry, thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to talk with us, to share, especially about the jewelry. One of the things that I am learning is, even though I, may know some of my guests, may even do a little bit of research, I always find out something new. So the
Mhm.
something new for me tonight was definitely you making jewelry. I didn't know that. And then last night I found out that my hip hop guest was also a clothing designer at one time. I was like, what? So yeah, just
Yeah,
amazing what you find out when you take the time to talk to someone and really delve in a little bit. So
There you
I
go.
want to see some of your jewelry creations in a short film very soon, or
Okay.
even a feature. I have one of my sorority sisters has a handbag line, and she has gotten her handbags on The Young and the Restless, which is like amazing. So many of the characters are carrying her handbags on The Young and the Restless. I just think that's so fabulous. So I'm
Okay.
saying short films, but who knows?
You never know. But
On
thank you for being,
auditions.
yes, I appreciate you, asking me and you know, thank you, because then it helps me to say, okay, Sherry, whatever you're doing, make sure do it even that much more so because you're speaking about it. You are. Thank you so much, Angela. I really appreciate it. And
You're welcome.
thank you for asking me to come and be a guest on your show. This is amazing. I love your platform. I think you're going to do wonderful things with it. And so I'm honored. I'm honored that you asked, and I'm here.
Of
So
course, I have to have my mom on the show. Absolutely. Well,
okay.
enjoy the rest of your evening. And again, thanks so much for hanging out with us here on the Angela Ray Show.
You're welcome. And thank you, everyone. And those who have asked questions, I appreciate that. And
All
hey,
right.
seize the day, seize your evening, seize your tomorrow. There you go. Well,
Absolutely.
okay.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Again, thanks so much to our special guest tonight, Sherry Richard. Again, if you are catching this on the replay, you have seen Sherry in The Walking Dead, Survivors First, The Banker, Ambitions on Own, and I would just hang out on her Instagram for a little while because you may find out some of her upcoming projects yet to be released soon. That's it for this Thursday edition of the Angela Ray Show. As always, I just want to remind you of Ray of Motivation number 54. Cleaning a mirror will not change the person who is reflected. Until next time, I encourage you to be the change. Have a good night. My broadcast don't want to end.